At the family barbecue, my dad barked, "You're the worthless parasite. You don't deserve a seat at this table," after I paid their $4,300 mortgage for 3 years and they secretly stole $7,250 from my account to fund my brother's first-class trip to Seoul. I said, "Choke on every dollar you ripped out of my life." I killed the account, filed for fraud, leaked the loan documents, but what I posted that night left them hated and humiliated. "You're the worthless parasite, Levi. You don't deserve a seat at this table." My dad barked across the fire pit, smoke catching his words like they were gasoline. "You want to talk about parasites, Dad? Let's open my banking app. Let's pull up 3 years of mortgage payments that kept this roof over your head." My brother Jake sat frozen, fork halfway to his mouth, like he'd just remembered he wasn't born into royalty. "We didn't ask you to do that," Mom snapped, eyes cutting through me. "You chose to." "Right," I hissed, "and you chose to help yourselves to $7,250 from my account, to send Jake to Korea in first class like a little emperor. No one denied it. My name's Levi Hartwell. I'm 25, quiet by nature, too good at shouldering things alone. I work remote tech support out of a 1-bedroom in Denver, and until about 6 hours ago, I still believed my parents loved me, even if they never showed it. But tonight, the barbecue smoke couldn't hide the rot. The family cast. Dad, Rick Hartwell, 58. Angry ex-Marine, calls sacrifices expected, never once said thank you. Mom, Susan Hartwell, 56. Coldly pragmatic, loyalty always flowed toward Jake. Jake, brother, 22. Golden boy, dropped out twice, still coddled, spent my stolen money like it grew on his Instagram followers. Me, Levi, 25. The ghost in the walls who kept them warm. "You think we owe you something because you played the martyr?" Dad snapped. "I think you owe me a damn explanation. I tracked the withdrawal to Mom's name. You moved money out. After. I changed the passwords." Jake stood up then, palms out. "Look, it was one trip. I didn't know it was your account, man. Mom said..." She said what? That the broke tech support guy doesn't need savings? That Levi doesn't get to dream? My voice cracked. I printed everything, the unauthorized bank withdrawals, my auto-pay mortgage stubs, even the travel invoice for Jake's $3,600 flight. I had them in my messenger bag. "I have receipts. You want to deny it? Let's go inside and get comfortable." No one moved. Dad's jaw clenched. "You ungrateful little shit. We raised you. And I paid you back with interest. Now choke on every dollar you ripped from my life." 3 winters ago, Dad lost his job. I cancelled my vacation, pulled out of grad school, and picked up weekend shifts. I even lied to my landlord to stretch out rent. I watched Jake eat takeout in front of my freezing apartment while I rationed utilities. One night, Mom called crying. They were 2 months late on the mortgage. I didn't hesitate. I drained my savings. Not once did anyone say thank you. I didn't post the receipts online. I posted a story, one nobody could look away from, no names, just... I paid my parents' mortgage for 3 years. They emptied my savings for my brother's vacation. They called me a parasite tonight. I closed their account and filed for fraud. I'm not angry, just tired of bleeding quietly. It went viral by morning. People figured it out. Family friends unfollowed them. Old co-workers commented. Jake's internship offer got pulled. Dad threw a chair. Jake locked his socials. Mom sobbed that I had ruined our name. "You ruined it yourselves," I said, calm for the first time. "I gave you everything, and all you gave me back was a fire pit and a public gutting. We're even." Mom reached for me. I stepped back. I left that night with nothing but my laptop, my messenger bag, and the quiet throb of a heart trying not to break. The porch light flickered as I walked away. That old bulb Dad always said he'd fix but never did. A symbol, maybe, of how long things had been left broken. I didn't slam the gate. I didn't look back. I just drove. I spent the first night in a motel off I-70, curled on stiff sheets, staring at a ceiling that wasn't mine, but at least wasn't theirs. I didn't sleep much, kept refreshing the post, kept watching strangers pour empathy into my inbox like they knew me. And in a way, they did. Because when you've been quiet for too long, your first scream echoes like thunder. 2 weeks later, a letter arrived. No return address. Just my name, written like a confession. It was from Jake. You didn't deserve it, any of it. I was jealous of you, Levi. You always worked, always endured. They made me think you were less because you never fought back. But you did. I see that now. I don't know how to make it right, but I wanted you to know I was wrong. I held the letter for a long time, not because it hurt, but because it didn't. It felt like closing a book you once thought you'd never escape. I didn't write back, but I cried, not the bitter kind, not rage-fueled, the quiet kind that cleans you out. For once, the tears weren't asking to be seen. They were just mine. I moved to Seattle. It wasn't a grand plan, just a dot on the map that felt far enough to matter. I found a one-bedroom above a used bookstore. You could hear the rain on the roof and the espresso machine downstairs. I bought a second-hand couch that didn't match anything. It felt perfect. I landed a job at a non-profit as their tech coordinator. No ping-pong tables or stock options, just real people doing real work. The first time someone said thank you after I fixed their laptop, I almost didn't know how to reply. Gratitude takes time to trust again. Therapy helped, still does. Not the fix-it-in-4 sessions kind, but the slow unwinding, the untangling of beliefs I didn't know I carried, like the idea that love should hurt, that sacrifice makes you worthy, that silence equals strength. I learned those weren't truths. They were survival tactics. I started cooking for myself, joined a Saturday board game group at a local cafe, made a friend named Jules, who never asks me to explain why I flinch when a text says, "We need to talk." They just sit beside me, and sometimes that's enough. I still dream about the mortgage. Sometimes I wake up mid-panic, convinced I missed a payment, that their house is crumbling because I failed. But then I see my ceiling, my rain-streaked window, my room, my life, and I remember they were never my responsibility. They were just the weight I learned to carry. Now I'm learning to put it down. I think about Dad sometimes, what it must be like to fear a son's silence more than his rage, to realize the quiet ones are the ones who leave and mean it. I don't forgive them, but I no longer hate them either. Hate is a chain, and I finally found the key. The fire pit smoke has long cleared. The heat is gone, the words ash in the wind, but I'm still here, breathing, living, and for the first time in years free. If this story hit you in the chest, if you've ever been the silent one, the giver, the ghost in your own family, you're not alone. Comment below. Have you ever felt used by the people you loved most? What would you have done in Levi's shoes? Do you think healing means forgiveness or walking away? Subscribe for more true stories that remind you your pain isn't invisible and your voice matters. If no one's told you this today, you are not a parasite. You are not weak for walking away. You deserve better. And it's not too late to go build it. Stay brave, stay grounded, stay you until next story.